Okay, before this video starts, I just want to say I will be explaining this in my inventory later in the video. Yeah, I've got a silly doggy. I'll explain it later in the video. There are 4 new eggs in this update. We've got ourselves this egg here, the showman egg, we got the mining egg, we got the cyber egg, and we've got the game egg. Which, by the way, I've got 21 hours of it in this server, which I feel like that shouldn't be the case. But, you know, it's just when you've got a private server and people are always playing the board game, you'll always have a lot of hours on this egg. So this egg is basically a permanent egg for me. I don't need to worry about the time. And which of these eggs should you be hatching? Or should you be hatching the infinity egg? That's what I'm going to be answering in this video. I'm going to see which one is the best. So let's start with the eggs which definitely aren't the best. The showman egg. Yeah, I mean, look at it. It's this is all that's in the egg. The stats are absolutely terrible. Why would you hatch this egg unless you want to get yourself, like, I don't even know. I've hatched 133 of these. Why would you hatch these? Waste of time. Speaking of waste of time, we got the mining egg here. Mining egg also is a waste of time. There's no secrets in here. The stats are kind of terrible. And if you are new to the update, hatch the game egg. The game egg is extremely cheap, being 10,000 tickets, whereas this one's 140,000. And the game egg stats are absolutely insane. Even the most common pet, the fancy demon's 20 times tickets. If we compare 20 times tickets to the pets in this egg, I mean, like, it's better. The most common pet is better than this most common pet, or it's about the same. But point is, this one's way more expensive. And then if you get yourself a game master in this egg, the game master in this egg is ridiculously overpowered. And obviously the lottery is too, but the game master is a feasible pet that you can hatch. So this leaves us to the 3 main eggs: game egg, cyber egg, and infinity egg. Let's go over the pros and cons of each of them, and then I'll give my final opinion, because obviously there's not a clear-cut answer here. So, let's start with the cyber egg. The pros of the cyber egg is that there's a secret in this egg, and also it's got some decent stat pets compared to like the mining egg, but it's got way worse stats than the game egg. So yeah, the cons to it is that the stats are also just not as good as the game egg. So it's got good stats, but like just not as good stats as the game egg. It's got better stats than like the mining egg, but like that doesn't mean much. The main pro of this egg is that you can hatch yourself a mech robot. However, a con to the mech robot itself is that so many of them have been hatched already. Like about 10,000 of them have already been hatched, which is ridiculous. And also, the stats aren't even that good. I've showcased the mech robot. If you want to go see the stats, go watch that video. So this egg is a bit weird. Obviously, the secret's going to have some value, but it's a permanent secret, and also it's decreasing in value very quickly, and it won't go up. So yeah, basically the secret's kind of terrible. And now we move to the game egg over here. The pros of the game egg is that it's cheap. The stats are absolutely incredibly insane. For example, a game master stats is 1,900 tickets. If we go over here to the bionic shard, this is also 1,900 tickets, and this is a 1 in 666,000, whereas the game master's a 1 in 20,000. Yeah, so this one's way more common. However, it's got the same stats, and don't even get me started on the fact that jackpot is better than like the robot. A 1 in 20 million tier 3 is better than a 1 in 66 million secret. Yeah, that makes sense. But like, even that makes more sense than the game master being just as good as the bionic shard. Like, realistically, this should not be this OP. But it is this OP. So yeah, that is a pro of this egg. The stats are absolutely incredible, like insane. However, the cons to this egg is there's no secret. Obviously, you got to get it on a limited time. However, it shouldn't be that bad in a lot of servers. I mean, you can pretty much guarantee it with golden dice if you really want the time. And another con is that the only pet you're really going to hatch is game master, and you might hatch a jackpot if you're really lucky. However, just game masters, once you've got a full team of shiny game masters, it's pretty like diminishing returns to hatch this egg, because all you're getting is more game masters, and who cares about them? You might get a jackpot, but that pet is incredibly rare, and like it will take you days to guarantee hatch that thing. So basically, this egg's kind of a bit weird. You're hatching it, you're getting good stats, but then you don't really have anything else to hatch. Whereas the cyber egg, obviously you could hatch a secret. Honestly, in my opinion, both of these eggs are kind of terrible, and they're both kind of bad designed in terms of motivation of one to hatch. This egg you hatch, and best case scenario, you hatch yourself a mech robot, which doesn't have that much value because it's a permanent secret and it's going to decrease a lot, and a lot have been hatched. Or you hatch a bionic shard, which is worse than the game, or the same as the game master, and you can't really do anything with it because the game master is better and easier to hatch. Or you hatch this egg over here, you get yourself a bunch of game masters, and then you don't really hatch anything else, and you can't hatch a secret. So honestly, both eggs suck. But then again, that's natural with any permanent world and permanent eggs. There's never going to be that much value in them, unfortunately. Okay, let's move to the final egg, the infinity egg. The thing is with this infinity egg here is that it's kind of questionable. Because obviously, you can switch between the overworld and the minigame paradise. And although this egg is cheaper, I believe, than the cyber egg, which is, I guess, a pro of it, it's also got every pet in, and obviously there's only 2 eggs which are, like, valuable. Although, I thought the game egg could be got from this, but I have not seen the game egg once, so I'm not sure if the game egg can be got from this, but it can show a jackpot here, so that's really weird. I don't think the game egg can be got from this. I'm looking at it right now and I have not seen a single game egg, so we're just going to conclude that there's no game egg. So yeah, the pros to the infinity egg is it's cheaper than the cyber egg. It's obviously more expensive than the game egg. However, a con to it is you cannot hatch the jackpot. You cannot hatch the game master from it. So it's basically you're just hatching the cyber egg and worse pets. And usually I'd say it's pretty good because you can get a lot of secrets from it. And I'm pretty sure, especially with the overworld, the odds are all kind of like, the odds of the secrets are slightly easier to get. I forget the maths on it, but I think they're slightly easier to get. But surely with minigame paradise, it's not really that much more worth it if you want a secret, because I feel like even if it is decreased by a certain amount, it wouldn't make up for the amount of eggs you're hatching which aren't cyber eggs. Like, I just hatched 6 eggs, only 1 out of 6 of those are cyber eggs, which means you're hatching 1/6 of the eggs. Obviously, it's different every time. That time it's 2 out of 6, and this time it is 2 out of 6 again. But like generally, it's never going to be more than 3 or 4 out of 6, which means you may as well just hatch the cyber egg. So I think I'm going to list off the infinity egg as useless for now, until there's like more updates and more secret pets in the update. By the way, I wish there was a secret pet in the game egg, like a really rare one. It would have been cool. It would have been something to hatch for, but I feel like they've lacked things to hatch in this update. Why is this dude following me along? Why has he only got 1 leg as well? He's got a little green leg that's been cut off there, it seems. Poor guy. Right, okay, so what's my final verdict? Because I understand in this video I flip-flopped around quite a bit, being like, this egg's bad, all the eggs are bad. And yes, all the eggs are bad. However, I think the best egg to hatch really depends. You start the update, hatch the game egg until you have a full team of shiny game masters, and then honestly, go hatch the cyber egg. That is my conclusion. Obviously, you want to complete the index. What I recommend is you go into the update, you hatch your shiny game masters, then you complete your index, and then you hatch the cyber egg for a secret. I think that's probably the best way to go about things, because realistically, I mean, you can see here I've hatched 457,000 of these eggs, and I think I've hatched 215,000 of these. Yeah, 214,000 of these. So yeah, I hatched these until I got myself the jackpot, then I moved to the cyber egg. However, I don't recommend grinding for the jackpot. It's really good stats. I can show you the stats of it. However, yeah, it's just not worth it. I should probably explain this in my inventory, shouldn't I? So yeah, about my silly doggy, I got donated this pet. I don't usually accept donations, but I think the silly doggy's a really cool pet, so I kind of wanted to take it. I actually hate taking donations. If someone wants to donate me a pet, I might give it away, but I'm not allowed to give this away. This guy said I'm not allowed to give it away, which is fine, because I want to keep this anyway. There's certain pets in the game which I will just keep, because I do like them. I like the silly doggy. I like how it jumps. Also, when the Overlord gets added, I will accept that as a donation, because Overlord is my favorite pet. But generally, I don't like accepting donations, so don't worry about donating to me. Anyway, play the clip of me getting donated to it. Okay, so the silly doggy is a really rare pet that can spawn on rifts, which are 1 in 50,000, and this guy here apparently is going to donate me his silly doggy for free, which, honestly, I'm not complaining about that. I will take a free secret, and especially because this pet is going to be pretty rare, that's pretty good. So I thought I'd record it here, just because, you know, I may as well. And now we have a silly doggy to ourselves. That's insane. I'm going to try and keep it level 1 for now, but I really don't care too much about leveling it. I'm just not going to, because the stats aren't that good. I mean, the stats are pretty good, but the stats aren't probably good enough for it to be worth getting rid of. Or, I mean, leveling up. Let's equip it for fun here. Let's unhide our pets, and let's look at our little silly doggy. I've already showcased this pet. I know what it looks like. This guy wants a screenshot because he donated it to me, so there we go. Shout out to this guy. I don't know if I'm going to include this in a video or make this a video. However, we have got ourselves a silly doggy now. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Go hatch the game egg. Get yourself a full team of shiny game masters. Then hatch the rest of the eggs for the index, and then cyber egg for a secret. That is my verdict on what egg you should hatch. Don't hatch the infinity egg. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.